Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and this is my audience Ben and Curtis. We're in the middle of a tropical storm. You can hear the thunder, but so this is my audience. So Ben, if you or anyone you know is interested in a career field that is reliable, and if you have an interest in dealing with situations where you help people, then I think that you'd be really interested in the career field that I'm talking about for my informative speech, which is nursing. Nursing is a really great career because not only can you choose from a variety of specialties like NICU, ER, OR, ICU, home health, anything like that. It's also a career where you can drive your career and focus your work on Jesus. So, a little bit about that. Sorry. Okay. So, my first point on discussing this is working as a nurse in a Christian-based hospital and how that environment looks. And from my sources that I've found, which is my mom, who's a nurse at Sacred Heart in Miramar, Florida, and my brother, who's a nursing student right now currently, but he also worked and is currently working at Sacred Heart in Miramar, and my cousin, who works at Sacred Heart in Pensacola, Florida. Around that Christian-based hospital, there is several pieces of Christian-based materials and insignia and stuff like that around the hospital, just showing that it is a Christian-based environment, like crosses on the walls, Bibles available to all the patients. There's a chapel, and you can stream church through your TV in the rooms and get prayer from any of the staff. The staff start each shift with God. When you go into your orientation at the hospital, they pray over you and pray that you are used and guided through God and with God to be the best nurse that you can be. And they pray over your hands, your body, your mind, just so that you are a tool for God to work with you in this environment. They pray over not only just the staff, but the entire hospital over the intercom, and pray a blessing over the hospital every morning. And even the meetings between nurses, they pray before they start each shift. Next is the meeting the needs of the patients. So if you were in a situation where you were in a really rough spot and really needed somebody, the staff is always there to pray with you and guide you as best as they can and be there for you, not only in a sense that they're your nurse and they're there to help you, but also in a spiritual sense, and they're there to pray with you and be with you in whatever needs that you need met. And for example, Lauren, which is your sister, when she was really sick and had to be in the hospital for a week, they were able to bring her communion every day at the hospital and stream mass over the TV since she was not able to leave her room. If you need a Bible, the staff is willing to bring you a Bible and pray with you, and anything else that you might need in your faith or whatever walk you need help with, they're there for that. The staff are also there to build relationships with their patients, and getting to know you, I think, is a really good opportunity for them to connect and understand you on a better personal level to help meet your needs even better. You also have them as a comfort, and if you wanted to do that career field, then you would be their comfort. So understanding that it's okay if your patient needs a hug or someone to laugh with or just sit with and talk, because sometimes, especially through COVID, we understand that people were in the hospitals alone, their family weren't able to see them. So that's where you would come in and being their comfort in that situation that is so stressful and terrible and really has them at a low point. Another amazing thing about being a nurse, especially if you're striving for a God-centered environment, is seeing miracles every day. I have a few stories that I want to share with you from the nurses that I mentioned earlier. The first one is from my brother, who at the time was working in the OR, and he said that this patient came in and had a tumor, and it was quite large, and they scheduled an operation, got him prepped, did everything, and when they started operating and opened him up, the tumor was gone. And they didn't know what his religious background was or anything like that, but that was definitely nothing short of something miraculous, seeing something that is hindering someone in their life and then just gone. The second story is from my cousin, and it's a child who she knows pretty well, and this child is normally a very active child, very on the go, and he was standing up in his chair, fell back, and hit his head on the tile floor. After that, he had zero control of his body. He had zero emotion. He used the bathroom on himself because he could not control anything. And even people he knew very well, he didn't recognize them, had zero emotion, just like not looking at somebody, just looking kind of past them. And so that was very scary for his family and his mother, and they were praying with that sweet little boy the whole time from the second it happened all the way through the hospital. And when he got to the hospital, my cousin was working in triage, which she doesn't normally do. And so she was able to get him back pretty quickly because he didn't recognize her. He was just like emotionless, and that's a very bad sign for someone with some kind of traumatic head injury. And they took him back, and about, I think the time span was about maybe 30, 40 minutes, maybe an hour, still nothing. And the second they got him into the CT scan, he went back to normal. He kind of freaked out a little bit, like, where am I? Why am I here? Who are these people? And they scanned him. No brain bleed, no injury, nothing whatsoever. And he was totally back to normal. The last example I have is kind of a long one, but it's pretty incredible. This is also from my cousin, who's an RN at Sacred Heart in Pensacola. And she had this child come in who they found her in the pool, and they took her into the hospital and started doing chest compressions, breathing, like all of the works to try and get this little girl back to normal and get a heartbeat, something. And after about 30 minutes of being unresponsive, which if you don't know medical terms, I think I don't want to botch this because I'm not someone has a lot of experience in the medical field, but your brain without any oxygen, anything, no heartbeat is very bad for your body and your mind. So typically after 30 minutes, someone would be brain dead or completely dead. And since she didn't have a heartbeat for that 30 minutes, she was technically dead for that long. And so they're doing CPR, they're working on her, and after 30 minutes, the doctor was making the judgment call to, he said, okay, we're gonna try one more thing. And they checked her heart. They did they checked her heart rate and checked her pulse, and everything, still nothing. And they put the defibrillator on her, and they had a heartbeat. And after that, they just kind of waited it out just to see. And she woke up, opened her eyes really big, and like kind of freaked out for a second, but then shortly after was laughing and talking with everybody and like totally normal, like nothing ever happened. And I think that's nothing short of a miracle, because for someone to literally be dead for half an hour, no pulse, nothing, and then to come back and not have any sign of trauma, brain damage, nothing. Like, they were ready to intubate her because they thought, okay, well, if she does come back, she's not going to be able to breathe on her own. She's not going to be able to do anything. But here she is, open her eyes and back to normal. And so if you have an interest in nursing or a career where you have a reliable job, reliable income, reliable work that's in high demand, everyone needs them, and you want to share the love of Jesus and helping people, then I think nursing is definitely the option for you, because you get to be a comfort for your patients. You get to pray with them, love on them, help them, and you also have the option to work in an environment that is totally centered around God and ensuring that you are the tool to use by God to help these people. And you also get to see really amazing things. So if you're interested in that, I think that's the best, most admirable career that someone could follow. And that's my speech. Thank you.